nerds, this is Natalie here from Team Epic Reads, and today I'm going to give you some real talk on two books that I have fallen madly, deeply in love with. So, The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis and The Hate You Give by Angie are two books that the world absolutely needs to know about because they are so important, so poignant, and honestly just dope as hell. Seriously, if I could only read two books for the rest of my life over and over and over again, it would absolutely be The Hate You Give and The Female of the Species. Okay, so let's jump right in with The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. First off, this book, amazing. I genuinely sat in my car and just cried hysterically after I finished this book because I really just needed to give myself some time to heal. Female of the Species is a contemporary that explores rape culture and everyday sexism that girls continue to face in high school. And when I talk about rape culture, what I mean is a culture in which sexual assault is encouraged and okayed through social norms and the media we are constantly being exposed to. From catcalling or slut shaming, this book made me really take a step back and think about how rape culture makes its way into everyday life. Okay, so back to the book. This book tackles rape culture in a very distinct way through the lens of three different characters. So we have Alex Kraft, the protagonist of the book. We have PK, who's the preacher's kid, and then we have Jack. Each of these characters kind of represents how rape culture makes its way into everyday life. And even though they have vastly different experiences with rape culture, they are each negatively affected by it. So at the beginning of the story, Jack and his friends are the epitome of the phrase, boys will be boys. They're all about the locker room talk, and they make these comments that we all hear all the time, but sweep under the rug as unimportant. It was really beautiful to see Jack change and grow and come to understand that his rhetoric and his actions really do have negative consequences. Okay, and then we have PK. So, oh god, PK. She is my absolute favorite character in this book because she just has so many layers to her. I feel like to say much more about PK would kind of mean that I'm spoiling something, and obviously I really don't want to do that. So what I will say about PK is she is an incredibly dynamic character who offers a lot of insight into the world and the effects of rape culture and everyday sexism. And then obviously we have Alex Kraft, and let me just say that this girl is an absolute badass. I'm really serious when I say that the entire book I was debating whether I should be absolutely terrified of Alex or if I wanted to be her best friend. Throughout the book, Alex has to battle some inner demons as she overcomes the tragedy of her sister's death. So Alex is kind of this vengeance character, and when I say that, I mean that all of Alex's actions throughout the book are really for the sake of revenge. Alex is so awesome because she is kind of really tired of seeing the people around her and the women around her being treated as prey, so she takes it into her own hands to become the predator. If someone asked me who my feminist soul sister was, it would absolutely be Alex Kraft. So my biggest takeaway from The Female of the Species was that as women, we really need to come together and stand together and share our stories and stand up for what's right. The Female of the Species really made me think about how we need to begin to build each other up as women instead of tearing each other down. And it also led me to think about how slut shaming and catcalling are really catalysts for much more severe behavior. I highly recommend this book. If you want to cry, scream, wave your feminist flag in the air, then this book is 100% for you. Okay, so the next book I'm going to be talking about today is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. The Hate You Give, by the way, just hit #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. And I am so proud and so excited about that. The Hate You Give tells the story of 16-year-old Star Carter who kind of lives in a bad neighborhood but goes to school in a good neighborhood. And what that means is that she lives in a less privileged, less wealthy, predominantly black neighborhood, but she goes to school in a very wealthy, predominantly white neighborhood. Star's life is absolutely changed forever when she witnesses the death of her unarmed best friend to the hands of police brutality. The Hate You Give was inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the one and only Tupac Shakur. The Black Lives Matter movement is something that I'm very passionate about, and I just kind of want to talk about for a moment. The Black Lives Matter movement was sort of founded in 2012, after the fatal shooting of unarmed teen Trayvon Martin. So since then, the movement has grown exponentially with the murders of unarmed black men and women, such as Michael Brown, Philando Castile, Eric Garner, and so many more. Angie Thomas, the author of The Hate U Give, said that she was first inspired to write The Hate U Give after she heard the story of Oscar Grant, yet another unarmed black male who lost his life to the hands of police brutality. And obviously also the great Tupac. If you haven't heard Tupac, you need to pause me right now, get your life, and go listen to some Tupac. Tupac actually had this tattoo kind of across his chest, kind of like bottom rib cage area, that said Thug Life. And what he said that meant was the hate you give little infants F's everybody. So that's where the title, The Hate U Give, comes from. So in this book, Star kind of struggles to find herself in between these two worlds she's kind of traveling between. Watching Star Carter grow into herself as an activist and as a young black woman was so inspiring for me. You know, because at the beginning of this story, we kind of find a young black teen, who is unsure of who she is and what she stands for, and by the end of it, we see this larger-than-life, empowered black female character who knows exactly who she is and exactly what she stands for. Obviously, when I first heard about this book and when I was going into it to read it, I was expecting it to be this very heavy and intense read, which it really was for me, but also it was really amazing because it unexpectedly made me laugh out loud. The characters and the community were so uplifting, even in the darkest of times. They really came together, and that's what I think I loved the absolute most about this book. I'm so proud of Angie Thomas for writing this book and hitting #1. Honestly, I don't even know her, but Angie Thomas, if you're watching this, I absolutely love you, and thank you for writing this. This book is so important for people to read right now in order to better understand what it's like to be affected by racism, what it's like to be affected by police brutality, and really what the Black Lives Matter movement is all about. What I was so obsessed with about this book is the way Angie so unapologetically wrote about what it's like to be a black woman today. Every single line in this book I related to on a spiritual level, and it really hit close to home for me as a black woman who grew up in a predominantly white, wealthy community. It was really kind of nice to know that I wasn't alone in my struggles of finding my identity. This book really breaks down why it is all of our responsibilities, regardless of race, class, gender, sexual orientation, to stand up for what's right. And needless to say, I am so excited for book 2, which I hear is coming soon. Maybe, Angie, tell me in the comments below. Because I am just so here for anything Angie Thomas ever writes again. I will read it religiously. Bottom line, if you want to ugly cry, laugh, fall in love, get your heart broken, The Hate U Give is so seriously for you. I'm raving about this book. Run to the bookstore, guys. Okay, book nerds, so that is all the real talk I have for you today. Please jump down to the comments below and let me know what I should be reading, what important YA is out there, what you think of my real talk. Let's have some combos in the comments below, and I cannot wait to see you there. Book shimmies for everyone.